From a Window in Vartov by Hans Christian Andersen, published in 1846. Right next to the green embankment that surrounds Copenhagen, and once was part of its defenses, stands a large building with many windows. In each is a potted plant. Poverty has stamped its mark both on the outside and the inside of the building. This is Vartov, a home for the aged poor. An old maid is leaning out of the window. She picks a dead leaf from the balsam plant that stands on the windowsill and looks out at the children who are playing on the embankment. What is she thinking about? She is reliving the drama of a life. How happily the poor children are playing. They have healthy red cheeks and shiny eyes, but are wearing neither stockings nor shoes. They are dancing on the green grass at the very place where, according to old legends, a child was offered. In ancient times, when the first embankment was being built here for the defense of the city, the ramparts sank as fast as they were constructed. An innocent child was lured with flowers, cakes, and toys into an open tomb, and while the little one ate and played, he was sealed in. From then on, the ramparts stood on solid ground, and the embankment was soon covered by grass. The little children playing there now do not know the legend. If they did, they would be able to hear the little child crying from under the ground, and the dew in the morning would seem to them like tears. They do not even know the story of the King of Denmark, who rode on that very embankment when the enemy had surrounded the city and swore that he would die in his nest. It was the dead of winter when the enemy attacked, and the foreign soldiers put white shirts over their uniforms. The men and women of the city poured boiling water down over them as they crawled over the snow-covered ramparts. Gaily did the children of the poor play. Play, little girl, play. The years will pass, the blessed years. Soon you will be 14 and confirmed. Then you will walk hand in hand with the other little girls here on the green embankment. Your white dress will have cost your mother more than she can spare, and that even though it will be made out of an old dress she has bought cheaply, you will be given a red shawl which, like your other clothes, will be too big. It will hang almost to the ground. But then people can see that it is a proper grown-up shawl. You will be thinking about your pretty dress and about God and what happened in church. It is lovely to walk here on the ramparts. The years will pass with many unhappy days to darken even a youthful heart. At last you will have a friend. You will meet a young man. Together you now walk on the embankment in the green grass. It is early in the year. The violets are not blooming yet. But down in Rosenborg, the royal castle, you stop to admire a young tree that already has large buds. Yes, every year the trees have new, fresh leaves. But that is not true of the human heart. Through the hearts of men, more dark clouds drift than the sky of the north will ever know. Poor young girl, your bridegroom's bridal chamber was a coffin, and you became an old maid. From your little room in Vartov with the green balsam plant on the windowsill, you look out at the playing children and imagine that you see your own story repeated. This was the life story that the old maid relived as she looked at the sun-filled ramparts where the red-cheeked, barefoot children shouted with joy, like all the other little birds of the heavens.